Well, 3 days down and 40 to go, with most of the Rugby World Cup teams now with the game under their belt. I think only 4 teams left to play. The tournament's really starting to take shape.
But if anything, those opening matches have made predicting an outcome even more difficult. Our rugby commentator Jed Thian is with us now for a look back on the World Cup's first big weekend. Jed.
He's not looking back, he's looking up.
He's looking up.
Jed,
I'm looking for the moon. I'm looking for the moon.
He's howling at the moon, that's what he's doing.
Oh.
Should we be... Kia ora to you. How do you think... Let's just deal with the All Blacks first.
Yeah.
First 40 minutes good, second 40 minutes bad. Is that it?
All done. Thank you.
Should we be worried
What
at all?
conclusions do we draw from that? Do we go...
Well, there's only one conclusion to draw. Don't take the train.
Yeah.
Well, I can't believe it. You advertise for almost 2 years you're going to throw a party in Auckland, and then you're surprised when people turn up. The whole place just fell apart. Come on, Auckland, sort it out.
I believe the Mayors are having a meeting this morning.
I can't argue with that.
And you're coming from well-behaved Wellington. How many games did you watch or commentate over the weekend, Jed?
Live and directly ARC for, obviously, the Tongan match. And then 4 across the weekend, including Ireland, USA yesterday, the Box versus Wales, and England versus Argentina on the Saturday night, which, I mean, I don't mind telling you, it was like a poke in the eye. It was dreary.
It was a pretty tedious game. I was excited when I finally watched that South Africa versus Wales game. Somebody started with a try rather than a penalty kick. I was like, yeah, we're playing some rugby.
Didn't last,
Yeah, it was fascinating stuff. I mean, the age care is my concern. You know, that's one of my pet concerns. This is one of the issues I believe in. And the Springboks is turning into a retirement home, as far as I can tell. All those old fellas out there, I don't know how they managed to stick it with Wales. And to be honest, I'll go out on a limb here. That went over. That went over. It was over.
Yeah, I think that's the consensus we've drawn this morning, although there are a few Box supporters out there who are willing to scrap it out with you on that one. Hey, tell us, were you surprised by the strength of the minnows?
Just for a change, let's replay that.
Yeah, let's just for a change.
Was I surprised at the strength of the minnows? Look, I think someone made a point that the bigger teams, they don't want to play their best rugby until later in the tournament. I guess logically that makes sense. But for me, the beauty of the weekend is seeing teams like Romania, seeing the courage of Japan, who are my second favourite team for the Rugby World Cup, Nippon, and I think Namibia, it was good to see them try and push Fiji a little bit. The international flavours arrived, and it kicked off with the Tongans last week at the airport, and everybody else that's come to the party. I mean, the biggest disappointment has been the top 5-6 nations in the world, but I guess you could have expected that early in the show.
Are you casting aspersions on the Northern Hemisphere teams there a little bit, Jed?
Well, I'll cast aspersions on whatever you like, mate, to be honest. The Northern Hemisphere teams, you know, they're certainly the low-hanging fruit, so let's go for them.
Martin Snedden, obviously World Cup boss, says Australia looks like the best of the top sides. Would you weigh in and agree with him there?
Martin Snedden's a cricketer. Move on.
For 30 minutes, I've got to say I agree with Martin Snedden. For 30 minutes there, when the Aussies finally turned up,
Put
they
Justin
looked
Bieber on the
pretty
field.
good. Digby Ioane.
That little Connor guy?
Yeah, he does look like Justin Bieber. You're right. What do you reckon,
Yeah,
Jed?
the life support system for a fringe. Yeah, the Aussies, they perplexing. Very perplexing outfit. Sure, they came in hot and heavy and they did win well and they looked like champions. But when you say that the rest of the big teams won ugly and the Australians won not so ugly, then you kind of thought, look, I tell you, and I tell you this most honestly, I really do. The Aussies, they're gone. As far as I can tell, they're not going to make the final. They'll get knocked out by England.
OK, I love your faith and your belief. Can you define what was your favourite moment of rugby play over the weekend?
Oh, I can tell you that it was Sonny
The
Bill Williams.
streaker in Dunedin.
The streaker.
Oh, really?
The streaker in Dunedin. Now, look, I'm not condoning streaking, although nudity I do condone. I'm not condoning abstaining. I believe we should all get amongst it. But I don't remember too many Argentinians in Dunedin when I was a university student down there, so it's good to see they swung the doors open. And didn't he show a lot of pace?
He did.
I actually think the Argentinian coach might want to pick him for the 7th squad, because once he got a clear line, and he just went for it. He turned around and gave Johnny Wilkinson the wee finger, like, try and catch this. And it was like, oh, interesting.
Good stuff.
He was a fine specimen of a human being.
Highlight of the game, you think?
He was definitely making a run for it, Jed Thian. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
much.
We'll talk to you again. There's going to be plenty more action to come.